Hello, welcome to another immigration art video. My name is Art Serratelli. We're a full-service immigration law group. So if you've got an immigration question, please feel free to give us a call. Today's video deals with the topic of owning a business. Can you own your own business? So this question comes up a lot. And it comes up in various contexts. Many F1 students and people working on other kinds of visa types. So sometimes it's an F1 student on OPT. Sometimes it's an F1 student still studying in college or at the university. Sometimes it's an H-1B worker who will ask me. Or sometimes it's a religious worker who wants to start a business of their own while also working as a religious worker. So the first question we've got to ask ourselves is, what exactly is the student or the H-1B or R1 worker? What are they asking me when they say, can I own a business? And it's really two questions. One is literally, can I buy or can I start my own business? Can I own it? Can I have a 50% interest? Can I own it all? And the answer is, to that question, yes, you can own a business. Just like if you were a student or an H-1B worker or an R1 religious worker, you could own an investment like IBM stock. And owning stock is like owning a part of the company. You can own a company, just don't work there. Why? And that leads to the second part of the question. I've got a note on the Immigration Art Professional Facebook page that you can like. Here is what that page looks like. I'll show you next. On that page, I've written a note about this very topic, and the note is called F1 Students Own, but do not work in, your own business. And in the note, which looks like this, by the way, you can't work at your company, or for that matter, any company, if you're an F1 student with no authorization to work. You have to follow the rules of the status you're in. Similarly, if you are an H-1B worker, you cannot work for your own company. Why? Because your H-1B is sponsored by your employer. One employer, one H-1B. You can't work for another company and your current employer with only one H-1B. So active work, you need authorization from the government. You'll see in the note that I suggest the international student go into business with a partner, and the partner actually performs the work, and the business of the business is run and controlled by the partner. A United States citizen partner would be great because they're allowed to work. A green card holder as a partner would be great because they're allowed to work. In the note, I have some examples of questions I've been asked by students. I've been asked, what's work? What am I allowed to do? So here are some examples. This is just for introducing you to these concepts. If you've got actual questions about your actual situation, just call me. And I'm going to go now right to Facebook, and I'm going to read the questions the students or H-1B or R1 workers ask me, and I'll read what answers I give them. Number one, Um, Immigration Art, can I answer the phone at my own business? And I'd prefer that you didn't. If you have a physical place of business, if you answer the phone, you're starting to look like a receptionist. Hello, XYZ company. That looks like work. Don't do it. Here's another one. Immigration Art, can I write computer code if my business is a computer software consulting company? Can I write computer code? No. No, you can't. No. You're starting to look like a computer programmer. To me, a computer programmer is actively working, just like the receptionist who answers the phone is actively working. If you're a passive investor, don't be answering the phone and don't be writing computer code. Now, it starts to get a little more subjective. Immigration Art, can I attend sales meetings with clients if I own my own company? And I think the answer to that is yes. Yes, you can. Why? Well, you can always attend a meeting, and if you're attending a sales meeting and describing your company as an owner, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like going to an IBM shareholder meeting. That's fine. But how about this? Immigration Art, after the sales meeting, if it goes well, can I sign the sales contract and negotiate the terms of the sale? And the answer to that is, I don't think so. I would not recommend that. Why? Well, because you're starting to look now like a salesman, a worker who is responsible for going out, finding clients, signing them up, and negotiating a contract. You're going to have a piece of paper with your name on it that is clearly the result of negotiations, that is clearly the result of you and the client sitting down and hammering out the details, and you both sign on the dotted line. You may be asking, well, who in the company is supposed to sign the contract if I can't? You're telling me, Art, I can go to the meeting as an owner, but I can't sign the sales contract? And the answer is, have your American citizen business partner sign the contract. Have your green card holding business partner sign the contract. And you know what? Take your business partner with you to the sales meeting. The two of you will be there. And how will that look? The customer will say, the client will say, oh yeah, they both came in. They both talked to me about the products and services they could offer. The owner, the guy who's also an F1 student, he was very knowledgeable, very smart. He really explained a lot to me. And after the meeting, the American citizen business partner or the green card holder business partner did all the detailed work and signed the contract. Ah, see? Now you're not working. The American is working. The green card holder, the guy with the green card, is working. Here's another one. Can I attend strategy meetings for my company? And absolutely, the answer to that is yes. You can meet with your partner. You can meet with potential vendors who sell you things that you need to produce your product, or who sell you things that you need to use in the provision of the services that your company offers. Yes, you can go to strategy meetings. That's just like going to a meeting with a stockbroker about the prospects of IBM's share price over the next year. And then how about this? I'm reading it from my Facebook page. Immigration Art, can I promote my company? Can I promote my company? Now that's a gray area. What do you mean, promote? Are you at a cocktail party and talking to your friends? If you're at a cocktail party, absolutely talk about your business. You could talk about your IBM stock investments. You could talk about sports, the weather, and you could talk about your own company. Go ahead, absolutely. Can you talk to people in the business world who may want to purchase products made by your company or services offered by your company? Absolutely, absolutely. But can you promote your company by negotiating a contract to purchase a billboard on the local highway that goes through your town? No. Mm-mm. Now you're starting to look like a PR, a public relations employee. Are you allowed to design and print with the assistance of a local printer that you hire and work with to design promotional materials? That starts looking like a brand manager. You're starting to look like a professional marketing employee. Don't do it. That, in a nutshell, is a very brief introduction to whether you can own your own business or not. Whether, and you can. Can you work there? Not unless you get work authorization for your own business from immigration. And that would mean a visa, a work visa, to work in your own company. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. And what is work? Don't confuse work as being defined as something you do in exchange for a paycheck. Work is activity based. Work is determined by what you're doing. If it looks like work, if it feels like work, if a third party who sees you doing what you're doing says that's work, then you're working. But if you have any questions, give me a call. Give me a call. This is a gray area, but if you're creative, if you're smart, and if you follow the rules, one day the company you start as a student or while you're working as an H-1B for your current employer, one day that company could grow and become the next Facebook. It could become the next Apple computer. It could become the next Google. I hope that this video starts a conversation. I hope this video encourages you and inspires you to talk to your friends. If you've wanted to start a business, you might now think more seriously about it. Where there's a will, there's a way.